Well, you don't like it, Chad?
But it's got skulls. And mandibles. And more mandibles. And blades.
Oh my gosh.
Shadiversity.
Greetings, I'm Shad, and yes, it's time to look at Maul Ninja weapons once again. And seriously, they're getting worse! My goodness, I couldn't believe some of the stuff we looked at. And what do I mean look at? Have I already looked at this stuff? Well, this is actually a really fun supercut of the live stream that we did looking at Maul Ninja weapons, where I am joined by a wonderful Shadiversity co-host, Nate and Tyranth. And seriously, some of these Maul Ninja weapons are crazy. Can't wait to show you our reactions to them. They're a lot of fun, but if you want access to the full-length, uncut version of the Maul Ninja kind of reaction video, as well as a lot of other fun stuff that we get up to in the live streams, all you have to do is become a member either on Player, Subscribe Star, channel memberships here on YouTube, or Patreon, and you get access to the live streams unlisted after we make them if you've missed out. But they are a great opportunity to make really fun kind of supercut stuff. The long versions are available if you're a supporter, and on the occasion we might even keep one of these live streams live available if it's an engaging enough or interesting enough topic and we're willing to take the hit that live streams usually hit us in regards to messing up recommendations and stuff like that. But let's get into these Maul Ninja stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sorry, these are just...
So the one...
Wow, these are beautiful Maul Ninja pieces.
It is. So the one at the top actually looks like it has a finger ring and a little bit of a guard. So the blade is like a crambit. It's pointed sort of in a forward direction. The second one reminds me of a gun out of like Halo.
I know. Like the middle one is the most Maul Ninja one in terms of.
Oh, that's a center spike.
You actually grip it. It's got a pistol grip on it. That's hilarious. Now,
and the bottom one looks like a fish.
There are classic Maul Ninja things like unnecessary spikes and like just indents on the blade that would make it less functional. These spikes can get caught on flesh or clothing and just stop, and so it makes it less functional overall.
And there's a difference between spikes and serrations. They are different things. Serrations are very useful.
Now, in terms of the handles, the most functional handle is the top one here. You could actually get, I reckon, a fairly nice.
I would say so, because you see these ones. They usually have stuff on the back.
The problem I found with that top one, for example, the problem I found with that is I've seen people who have knives like this, and they're like, "Oh, check this out," and you'll see, let's say, for example, it's someone of equivalent height and size to us three. We'll be handling it, being, "Oh, that's amazing," and everything else, and then we go and give it to, say, a smaller build girl, and she won't be able to hold it properly because the finger guard no longer fits her hand.
You're right, and there are guys with like crazy chunky hands.
Yeah.
Nate is holding one of my very first swords, and this is
fantastic.
Here, like if you want an example of Maul Ninja quality, this was like the only type of stuff I could buy back in the day. Online shopping wasn't a thing, and I was just lucky that an adventure camping store decided to sell random swords at one point, and I had blew my eyes like, and bought it. And I cherished it for so long. I cherish it for the amazing piece of crap that it is, as a great, glorious example of top-tier Maul Ninja quality. The fittings are like already loose.
So hang on. I would correct that. I wouldn't say that the quality is really bad. I would say the quality is really sporadic.
Sporadic?
Like the casting, for example, on the little pewter pieces, it's actually kind of nice.
It's got some detail.
That's not a compliment, though. Like, that's a very easy thing. They're like $3 for one of those fittings.
It doesn't matter. You can't say the whole thing is bad because it has some pretty features.
Thing underneath here. See underneath the wrap
here? Looks like gold leaf.
It's a sticker.
They don't make them like they used to.
They don't make Maul Ninja like they used to. This thing is old now. Like, can you see the fake Hammond still? That's mostly disappeared from... And that's not from polishing. That's mainly just drawing and age. You can barely... wow, that actually comes up really brightly on the camera. So that is a fake Hammond. That is just done through etching, just to give the look of it. Classic Maul Ninja thing. And a classic Maul Ninja, like, fake katana, is how consistently the Hammond is. If you see a Hammond that's got this perfect kind of like...
Yeah, because it was
never so perfect like that on any traditional katana. And so if you see one that's so perfect like this, that is like classic Maul Ninja.
I like that sound.
Yep.
It sounds like a fake gun.
It sounds cheap, like it's got cheap parts.
I kind of like, how there's a certain thing where...
ready? Hold on. Someone do the action of cocking a gun.
We'll be quiet.
See,
It sounds like a cheap B-grade movie. I love that sound. It reminds me of the 80s, Torrance. It reminds me of the 80s.
That's fine.
So,
Fingering the guard.
So when you bend your finger down like this, there's still a blade pointing forward.
Yep.
But the cutting edge of the blade is pointing towards you.
Well, that's the thing, because if you do that, you're right. It'll be pointing down, not out. It's
you know what? I think this would be great. I think this would be absolutely great if you were sewing. You could cut your thread. You could.
I just want the blade on the end of the finger, though.
This is like a finger-breaking device.
Oh, well,
I love this
So
one.
I love the club, but I love the little pull-out thing. What I think is from the bottom of the club.
Little push dagger.
I made a sheath for it.
Do you like my push dagger? Do you want to see the sheath?
This is these are the spikes. That's the protective covering that has the plastic thing is a sheath.
No, but it's a sheath for a sheath.
It's a sheath.
Here's my push dagger. Here's the sheath for it, and here is the sheath for that.
I love this. This thing is just glorious.
What I love, instead of putting more spikes on, they put little skulls on. Because that's cool. That's cool.
But these spikes actually aren't terrible, because one of the problems if you're going to have a spike mace, if the spikes are too big, they can get caught and get in the way and everything. If you just want small spikes that give a focus for the damage, everything that can won't make it terrible. So this actually isn't even though it's clear like for the gimmick Mole Ninja, it's not horrible.
It's very police club from like the 19...
Yeah,
I know, Governor.
Yeah, like it is.
It's a bit too short. Okay, yes.
Okay, so
yes.
so we're not actually commenting on gentlemen. We're just commenting on the blades.
But I've commented on these blades before. They've come up. These are so classic Mole Ninja weapons. Have you seen the guy where it's like this with these ones? Where it's like... So this is the thing, right? Weapons that have this kind of orientation where they're going forward from the forearm, there is historical precedent for it. We have the gauntlet sword, the pata, right?
Especially in the Indian area.
The massive danger with these types of weapons is that they are not intuitive in regards to the biomechanics. You've held, butter knives, you've held everything like in this orientation. And so even when you pick up something bigger, you naturally are aware of, all right, natural movement, where it'll go to avoid hitting yourself, right? Having a weapon in this orientation is so counterintuitive that you don't have that awareness of where the blade is. And as a result, people injure themselves vastly more likely. We saw this, just even with the reverse grip testing,
I sliced my leg.
You would have hit your leg.
So the blade is running straight up your arm. So your arm is taking that full impact. And you can't relax it. You can't be like, if something hits your hand, you can move it. You can take some of that energy out with this.
Extend?
No, I think...
Can we do that too? Can we just make them so that you...
I don't think so.
We have a small selection of this.
Oh, okay.
These colors look amazing until you go to use these things, which you never use Mole Ninja stuff, by the way. They're called wall hangers for a reason.
Yeah.
But you would, for example, go to use this and you can't clean them.
I've used these blades before.
You can't clean them without the color going.
They are the most uncomfortable things you will ever hold.
Really?
They are basically just a flat piece of steel with...
That makes sense.
Basically just katana cord wrap around it.
You would definitely say there's a difference between holding a bar of steel with a wrap on it and a sword, which actually has an element of balance. This is just your bar of steel.
This is a bar of steel.
See, this middle one, right? I see potential. What it currently is, like, I would, I'm very confident it doesn't have a distal taper and it doesn't have correct profiling to make more function or everything. But if we would just look at the flat profile, that is actually an interesting profile that I don't hate.
I like the look of... I do like the look of these. So...
Because, like...
Are you getting this one that I think you're getting?
For a sword that you're not going to be dueling with, there's not as much of a necessity to have a cross guard.
You are.
Hang on. Well, if you're getting that, is that the one I like with
the
with
tactical, but it feels like a bar of steel.
Yeah, exactly, because there are issues with it.
So these blades are basically the same thing. Obviously, the shape's a little bit different, but this one's actually a bit of a luxe version of that.
Yeah.
Because it has G10 scales.
Now, I have a full review on this sword, and I literally titled it, I Love and Hate It, because there are things I love about it and things I hate about it.
Now, this is, like I said, a luxury version of that. They are basically this, just a little bit of a different shape, but they do not have these nice G10 scales. G10 scales are actually pretty good. This is just wrapped with some cord.
Yeah.
So imagine
this is actually serious steel as well.
And
they're usually not as
say,
thick. I should also mention that.
And I was going to say, so yes, it's a piece of serious steel, but the difference between picking up that and swinging it around and picking up a sword, like you just feel the difference. That feels deadly. By all means, it feels deadly. But it also feels like you've picked up a bar of steel. It does not feel like you've picked up a sword.
The weight in this is honestly ridiculous. It is like 5 mil thick right here and doesn't have a distal taper really. Like if you were to grind it down, you could shave off easily 2 mil here at the base and then grind it down more, and you could probably half the weight and still have the same profile.
But those things are meant to be like that, just beasts.
They're zombie cutters, basically.
That's the thing, like you exhaust yourself swinging this around. It's like that's why it wouldn't be a good zombie weapon. Yeah, you could carve people up, but you'd wreck your wrist and your forearm. You'd barely be able to pick it up after a few swings.
Well, it depends on what zombies. You got the slow moving zombies. It's fine because you need to take a break after like 20 of them.
Again, what frustrates me about this is that it's actually got a functional design that if it had proper profiling, it's actually a good pick for a self-defense sword, honestly. This middle profile, right? If you actually, like these holes on the blade, there's no functional, there's like, it's removing weight. You know what you could do that would remove weight and not weaken the blade? It's called a fuller. They've been doing it for a long time, right? And so if you just get rid of these holes, right, and add a central fuller all the way down and then have a distal taper, okay, this would actually be a pretty good profile design for a functional self-defense sword. The wrap thing, you need a good handle, like get some scales on it either side. These daggers, it's like, look at the cutouts. Like,
again,
what
it's the same. It's just a cord wrap.
Yeah, but like this at least has a good blade.
It does, like the cord wraps.
Hold on. Not only is it the shape, it's the thickness. So the cord wrap on that is fine. These are not the same. They are very thin, and the cord on it isn't this big, giant, thick cord.
So almost sort of coming into that tactical thing, that little knife in the corner, that has a tactical, almost Batman-esque handle to it because it's just...
All right, so these knives right here.
No, not those. Oh.
Well, I want to focus on these because, like, this is the difference between, like, these ones I'm holding, more tactical, these ones more ninja, because look at the cutouts on the blade. You're ruining a good blade with these stupid cutouts.
Now, if anybody's a bit of an eagle eye here, they can see what cord they're using. They're using that very soft, like, it's not even paracord. Paracord is awesome. This is just like that cheap stuff you get.
Oh, little nylon.
Look how cheap. You can tell this is like nylon crap here.
Yes. It's basically just barbed steel you're holding.
And it's coming unwrapped. Like look, it's coming unwrapped right here because it's this cheap nylon crap. So, what do you think about these ones? People would flinch, but it's not going to kill. You're not going to kill people with something like that.
I actually feel like if you throw that, you've got a good chance of cutting yourself as it's leaving your hand. It's like 3 crambits welded together in the middle.
Fidget spinner.
Oh, yeah.
And one of those blades could actually make a half decent little knife, you know?
Yeah.
But what they've done is just like a waste of steel.
It's probably the best, maybe with the exception of the knife in the top right-hand corner, it's probably one of the best blades on there.
I do need to. I hate these Ninja Toe piece of craps. I just hate I hate the profile.
You
I hate
like
the
the
look.
Tonto profile?
No, I don't.
Oh, here we go again.
It's just like, what am I looking at?
I think it looks great.
Is this AIR? Are we looking at AIR?
It's
like AI trying to make up.
Like, unironically, we can actually make it bigger on the smaller screen. It's easy to see. Wow.
Unironically, it looks like
just someone spewed blade.
At
least I don't think it would be uncomfortable to hold. I think that would be reasonably fine.
I know those things are pretty heavy.
You know, you know why I disagree? Maiden finger should go here, which gives us the orientation of the handle, and look what's right behind it. Your thumb is going to be jabbed right into this thing here.
But it's got a glass breaker on the back, so it's somewhat functional.
I reckon that glass breaker will break off. That looks like cheap cast something.
It is.
The glass breakers only need to be this much. I don't need to be a big studded, 1980s leather studded vest thing.
This thing would break off the front blade. It's got a small connection.
Imagine if you tried to, let's say that's the only thing you had, and you're fighting someone with a sword, and that you happen to catch their sword in here, you've got luck, right? You may be able to do it. If you miss and it goes into the gap, that is all the way down your fingers. So the only advantage...
You're right.
Exactly.
Right.
So the only advantage it has in regards to that blade profile for, defending yourself against another bladed weapon...
You're right. The fact
you've got to be so accurate.
The fact there's nothing connecting that blade right there. It's just like, oh, wow. This is a truly horrible design. This is, I think, one of the worst Mall Ninja dagger designs
But
I've
it's
seen.
got a cool spiderweb pattern on the handle.
This is awful. This is like who designed it? What were you thinking? Did they have a stroke? They're just like
Strong.
I'm gonna close my eyes and
That's a homemade one.
maybe.
It's a homemade one. They've rounded the back because they've obviously stabbed themselves, and they've taken it from other pieces. And they've taken it from other pieces of knife. It looks like they've got a Bowie knife handle.
I have a
and
feeling.
attached it.
I have a feeling this came from like an actual Mall Ninja piece that got dirty, rusty, and then they've redone the handle. Because like
Maybe.
this looks like it's been weathered a lot by it's just lying around. Because this looks too Mall Ninja-y stuff that
It
I
looks
don't
like something
like.
that was handmade in like the early 90s
I don't-
or something, and then sat in a.
To me, I don't think you can hand make something like this. This needs to be die pressed.
That's laser cut. That's a laser cut.
Laser
piece
cut
of,
or die press.
it'll
One
be
or
a
the
laser
other.
cut piece of
But
steel.
that's how you like because forging this shape would be
No, you wouldn't
so
forge
hard.
it. You wouldn't have to.
You could press out, I guess.
You could also drill that out.
Yeah.
There is something to mention about Mall Ninja weapons. They are laser cut out of just blank bits of steel sheeting, and then the fittings are usually just cast stainless steel.
Yeah.
Like there's no artistry in them. They're mass manufactured terrible pieces.
This is ugly.
Oh no, there's abstract artistry in them.
I mean,
I
guess there is the people who use them and pose for them in the photos. That is art.
the
That is
handle. I don't hate the handle, right?
It's because the handle's like
That's-
Bowie
that- yeah,
knife.
that's-
Yeah,
just a knife
I know.
handle.
Like you could actually have a decent knife on that. But what?
I
Like,
don't
look at
actually
this.
know. There is one thing I won't know like about the handle, which is the double finger guard. I don't like it when
Yeah.
you've got double finger guards.
'Cause
One is okay.
If your fingers aren't the right size, it just makes it really bad. But if they are the right size, you know,
it can work. Yeah. Deer leg nunchucks. Nunchucks.
I love them.
It's redneck engineering at its finest.
That would be just as functional as regular nunchucks.
But yeah,
But they got
I mean,
hooves.
they
Actually, probably more. They're probably better. The hooves could dig
And
in.
they're
and-
comfortable.
they kick like a mule. So I'll listen.
I love them. These are great.
Would they be called buckchucks?
I'm actually really digging this.
Have you, actually-
Tyrant is going hunting soon. He's going to make himself some like deer chucks.
have you seen the nun chucks?
Yes.
They have like carved out nuns on each end.
This reminds me of Akira.
I-
Therefore, I love it, even though I know I should hate
No,
it.
wait. I don't hate them. Like
They remind me of something kind of like what's the name of the Japanese weapon that's the club? And I know these are blades, but what's the name of the Japanese weapon that's the club? I forget.
Why am I thinking super? It's not super.
No.
I'm not feeling it, chat.
You're not feeling it. All right. So I don't.
Yeah,
like,
they
this-
aren't clubs. They are blades.
These
but
are
they-
not cutouts.
No,
they're
they're
a
just
different paint. Okay, because
So
if
it's not
that
a-
was
it's not a
cutout-
weak spot.
Yeah, if that was a cut, I'd be like, "What? No, that looks like it's actually part of the blade." Which
Yeah.
means I think
But
these
they're
are
like
just
halfway
colours.
between baseball, so they're not like cutting fine stuff because they're too chunky and too thick. But I kind of just really like them. They remind me of.
I don't hate
It's
them.
very Neo Tokyo, and I love it.
They're like executioner blades.
Exactly, but one-handed.
Yeah.
Wow.
If
I
they
think
have
they're
a
too-
thick diamond cross section and they're a mix between a club with sort of a bit of an edge,
Yeah.
I could be feeling
I-
it. But
I
if they're,
would-
if they're thin blades,
No.
I'm not feeling
Well,
it.
it depends because like
I still want them to be light.
yeah, exactly. The weight would be the determining factor. If these actually have functional weight and they're not overbuilt like most tactical crappy art is, like that
should-
I could see a function like a heavy cleaving
We should
sword.
talk quickly about the difference between tactical and Mole Ninja.
We let's do that. I just want to end off like these remind me of the Makajowski cleavers a bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but
Like it's just like a tactical version of that. And if they were made
I
functional,
really love these.
If they're made functional and in a dystopian sci-fi setting,
It does.
I
Like I
actually
said-
like them.
Being on it
Oh
too.
my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Do you love
Oh,
it? I actually have a little story with this.
this is giving me a stroke. This is.
We're having a lot of stronks on today's stream. So, as a weapon,
I hate it.
absolutely. Funnily enough,
As a
something similar
joke.
to this, as a tool, there are people who use hammers on ropes and springs, and they actually use
I
them.
haven't seen ropes. I've seen the really flexible handles to reduce hand shock. I've
Yeah.
seen those, but ropes?
You know.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna have to find them
You're
now.
gonna have to find them. What?
Okay, but as a weapon, oh my god.
Oh gosh! Like I am not a fan of flails.
I think this is just like a concept.
I know,
Somebody's made
and
it
it's a
just
joke.
It's a joke. Yeah.
But like, look how long the chain is. Like one of the things with flails is that the chain shouldn't be so. Look, sometimes there are
The best-
examples, but if you want to avoid it hitting your knuckles, have the chain shorter.
The best part about all of this is the fact that it's a claw hammer. If you want to use the back end, I love it.
Oh my gosh! Ah, Oh, another ring one.
Yeah.
I like this one though because it's his mouth. It's his mouth. Like it's the bottom of the.
That looks like it fits on the top.
Yeah, this is the ring like that. That's a helmet.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's like the bottom of the helmet where like the mouth.
Oh, right.
Oh, right. So you're putting your finger through his mouth, and then you've got the
Still, like, these things are so stupid. Like, if you want, a break your finger device, just have one of these. These are
Can you imagine
so
trying to
dumb.
reach into your pocket, forgetting you've got it on? Like, you would rip jeans, but if you're like, or something, or like,
And-
you have to go to.
I think the edge is on the upper side of this one because the
It looks
quality.
blunt on the bottom. I don't even
so
think there's an
I
edge
think
on the
there is.
top.
It's just very because the
the-
like 280p.
But what
image.
frustrates me is like you could have a concealable little knife with a blade as big as that, just with a little handle, and they're functional. I think I've got one. I almost want to dig it out. My little knife. I like my little knife.
It's mid. Anyway,
Screw you. Tom always likes to make fun of my knife.
No, he just said it was mint.
I said it was mint. I said it was.
He said it was mid.
Oh, do you say mid or
He
mint?
said mid.
I said mint, Nate.
Did you?
Nay, Tom makes fun of us. Stuff.
Yes, that's what he does.
But I love these little finger knives.
Screw you. I'm getting my knife. I'm going to show my knife.
It's a tiny little knife, guys. It's just a tiny.
After every stream, ladies and gentlemen, we always have to put away so many weapons.
It's great, and it's got a comfortable grip. You hold it right there, and it's got a little, and it's very functional. Yeah, zoom in, get this, get that right there. Oh, look at that, look, and it's blurry.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
Look at my little knife, and see, it's really comfortable.
It's a very nice knife. Shad.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, yes. It's just.
I agree with your first comment. Sorry.
What?
It's
What? I thought you were on my side.
for certain topics, not this one. That's
It's mid.
a pretty average knife.
Boss, everyone's against me. This is a great knife. I love it. Here, do it. Maybe if you hold it. See.
It's mid.
It's a bit average. Sorry.
You guys suck.
Oh wow, this almost goes to the bladed
Scorpion King.
Yeah, no, but like Shad's bladed handbag thing or whatever it
Yeah.
was, and the shark punch. Like this is just.
So it seems like this just has a grip, like a standard. Just
It seems like you would cut yourself trying to put it on.
yeah, probably. I don't even know what you would do with it. What, are you gonna punch someone in the face with it? What, you don't like it, Shad?
But it's got skulls and mandibles and more mandibles and blades.
Oh my gosh.
So do you know how to fight someone if they're wearing this? Not that we should give fighting advice, but like if someone had that and you actually managed to catch their arm, just turn the thing. Just give it.
It's a blade
This
catcher.
is one of
Oh yeah, into your arm.
this is one of the most mole ninja of all mole ninja stuff I've
Just
ever
walk around.
seen. This is you're right up there with the handbag stuff. This is
I think that the skull's got
Amazing.
eyebrows. Has that skull got eyebrows?
I'd be shocked too. Oh, imagine getting reincarnated into that. You're like, no.
Oh, you know when I said the thing was cool that you thought wasn't cool? This is the type of thing, if you think this is cool, you need help. Okay?
I maintained that point even before. So
Oh no.
No,
We'll get you some taste. We'll get you some
like,
taste.
if you think this is cool, seek therapy.
I think that tail is sharpened as well. I don't know what you'll do with
Oh
it, but the tail is sharpened.
Gosh.
No, well, I know what part of the tail is. Not necessarily the blade at the end, but that roll, like the actual whole tail, is just so you've got somewhere safe to grab the thing when you're putting it on and off.
sharpened. It's got an edge on it.
No, yeah, but no, the rest of
Oh,
it.
the rest of it.
It's so you've actually got somewhere to hold when you're putting it on and off.
This has broken my brain.
Oh,
Look at all those little blade catches in there, huh?
oh yeah.
Right next to your
Right
wrist.
next to your arm.
Oh my gosh.
Just to guide it right into
How
your
did you
forearm bone.
find this? This is amazing.
You don't want to know the search.
Oh, wow.
Actually, Tyrus, I think you found this. What
Yeah.
was the exact?
Fantasy weapons.
Oh,
I love good old fantasy weapons.
Oh gosh.
wow.
Like I have delved the depths of mole ninja territory, and you think you have seen the horrors that the human mind can conjure, and yet you still get surprised.
I think there's another one coming up. So this is an axe or like a
Is it
hatchet, maybe.
a shovel with a? What's with the
So
dragon?
the dragon wings.
Oh,
what
so-
about dragons?
hang on,
They're
hang
the
on.
blades.
So that would no that brown underneath the wingtips. Is that wood? And it's just the
that's-
mounting?
It's like on
On a mounting. So those little golden bits unmount.
Yes.
Oh,
so it's an
so the
axe.
wood isn't
Yeah.
attached to it. I see.
So it's an axe. Yeah.
Yeah, that,
Okay, so it's a little double
turn
bitted
it
axe.
sideways. That's the plaque it's hanging on.
Yeah.
And so the wood is not part of the weapon. It is.
Like that.
So
In that case, it's not as bad as I thought it was, but it's still not good.
Oh, it's not good at all. What are you talking about? What are you talking
it
about?
hurts. It hurts. It's
You're just going to jump to the next one?
yeah. It's moving on.
This one. This is the one I was talking about.
Oh,
Now,
this isn't the one I was talking about.
What do you notice about this one, guys?
That I feel like I want a pizza and maybe wear a red or yellow or orange bandana.
How are those steel blades attached to things?
Oh wow, they're gonna snap off so quickly.
So that's leather and a bit of what is it? Elastic band holding that to your wrist.
I mean,
Oh, yeah, they'll snap that way.
yeah. And then there's blades pointed right into your forearm as they snap.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is that what they call him, Shredder?
Ooh. If they were actually attached securely,
Which you
they're
can do.
serious
Funnily,
blades.
funnily enough, how easy is it to attach those to a piece of steel and have that on a piece of leather? Around the hand.
All
I
the
mean-
way around there.
All the way around the hand.
Is it kukri? No, not kukri. I forget that. But the punch daggers. You see there's actual like punch dagger.
Yeah.
Oh, the Indian ones. with
Indian
the,
ones.
Yeah.
My brain just went dead. I forget what they're called.
This is very, very
Yeah.
Eastman and
Like,
layout.
the spikes on the knuckles, they seem. I mean, a little
Sure.
redundant. If you get close enough to be able to hit the spike, it's like the blades would be already.
No, they're
buried
back up for after the blades.
What worries me though is how they're attached. If they're just nails punched through, so that if you punch something, they punch straight into, then it's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Like what are the rings on the side? It's got like these just metal rings on the side that'll make noise.
Makes some sounds.
Wow.
Well, your hands will make some sounds afterwards.
I don't think they beat the scorpion bracer thing, but this is amazing. It's up there, but
Well, I mean, you could even call the scorpion
my
bracelet
head
armor.
is still hurting from the scorpion thing. I'm not sure I'm going to recover from that today.
But if you move the scorpion bracer into armor and not a weapon, it's like, okay, it's stupid, but it's fine. This is a weapon. Well, it's supposed to be a weapon.
I'm not kidding. My head is hurting, guys. This is. Oh my gosh! What an ugly piece of crap! Where's the head? I don't know what I'm looking at. Gosh.
You hold it like that.
Yeah,
Ah.
So you're, no, not like this.
No, look, that's the handle there.
Yeah, but look, not like this. Like this.
Well, because it'll dig anything, yeah. But I mean, like, the grip is supposed to be like this, but you physically can't because that little thing, so you'll probably be like that.
Which means your wrist is locked down.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks big enough to, like, catch a head.
This is
Catch
painful.
a head catcher.
This is painful. It's like they grabbed multiple mole ninja crap and just spewed it onto
You know how in
thing.
Dungeons and Dragons you can cast confusion? I feel
Yeah.
like if an opponent ran at you with this,
That's how to defeat me. Whip something out like that, and I'll be too busy
No.
having a stroke trying
What?
to understand it, and then I'm just like, and then they kill me. Oh my goodness, can you see why I'm traumatized for that? But the Mole Ninja stuff will never cease. There's a lot to react to, a lot to do, and a lot of fun that we get up onto in those live streams. If you want to see the full uncut version, all the other fun stuff, where we also get to give you updates on certain projects I'm working on, all you have to do is become a member or supporter on Player, Subscribestar, channel memberships, or Patreon. Thank you to everyone who's supporting us. It means the world. It really does enable us to keep making this content. And thank you for joining us in this video. Hope to see you next time. And until then,